Welcome back to the Clueless Dad. Today we're going to talk on a Bx23s. A little bit of maintenance items. Things you want to check over after you buy one. Kind of went over Bx23s a while ago. Didn't really go over maintenance on it, so just kind of wanted to do that a little bit, kind of give you an idea what to look for. Let's just kind of start underneath the hood. On this one, you're going to see on the very top your radiator. This is one thing right here. This cover, you want to clean this out every time you get done running the tractor, whatever you're going to do with it. Hay, grass, things like that are going to collect in there, make the tractor overheat. That's not anybody's friend, letting something like that overheat. So you want to keep it cleaned out. You can see right here, air filter is in there. And going down to the side of the tractor, you can kind of see right here, you got one fuel filter there. There is another fuel filter that's up underneath the rear of the tractor near the tank. So there's two of those fuel filters. Just remember, whenever you replace a fuel filter on these, you want to do them both at the same time. Don't replace one without the other. The other thing, these tractors do not have petcocks for the fuel, so you cannot shut the fuel off. So whenever you take these off, you're going to wear whatever fuel is in it unless you crimp the lines. That's a big thing to remember. Another thing on maintenance, you can see right here, this is your axle. This would be on the left side of the tractor. Kind of looks like a smiley face there with two eyeballs, huh? That's going to be your axle fill. It's going to take roughly about 5 quarts of hydraulic fluid, the UDT2. The UDT2 hydraulic fluid is what it's going to take. So you want to keep that filled up, check it periodically. Going around the other side of the tractor, you're going to see on this side, you're going to see your coolant overflow jug in behind the loader valve there. You can check that periodically. It takes regular green antifreeze. If it goes below minimum and stays there, add it to the minimum line. You don't want to go over it because it will go up and down. It will fluctuate. Scrolling down here, you can see where my finger is at your oil filter. And then right here is the dipstick, and your fill plug is right there. The only other thing on this tractor is your other hydraulic filter. There's only two filters, oil filter and the hydraulic filter. Your hydraulic filter is right below the deck right here. If you look straight down up underneath, you'll see that right there, and the fuel filter is right beside of it. So going to the back of the tractor, if you're going to check or do anything with your hydraulic fluid, change it, anything like that, the dipstick for it is right there. That is fill and dipstick, both. Now, one thing I do want to talk to you about, a lot of guys get Bx23s. They get these tractors, they take the mower deck off of it, and they run them. So if you're going to do that, the underneath of the tractor, there's a thing called a hydrostatic fan. The blade costs about $7. It takes about 4 hours to replace. If you're going to run without the mower deck underneath of this, go to a company that sells skid plates for underneath. You can look them up. One is called BX Panda. You can look them up. They have a skid plate that goes underneath. Or if you are really good with metal, you can make one. You just want to protect that hydrostatic fan that's underneath the tractor. With a mower deck on it, it kind of protects it already. But you just want to get something. If you're not going to get a mower deck, you don't want a stick going up in there and breaking those fan blades. That will be a terrible day that you have to do that and pay out the money to get that fixed. So just kind of give you a little bit of a tip there. As far as greasing your tractor, getting all your grease fittings greased, I would do those as needed. You can kind of see a grease fitting in there on purpose. I grease them to where you can see the grease on top, so that way I know they've been greased. And you just want to grease them to where you get grease coming out of the top. I would check them once every few weeks just to see if they need any grease. That's what I would do. That just kind of keeps everything lubed and running the way it should. One other thing on BX tractors that you want to watch is if you ever pull the throttle lever down. I cannot talk today. It's been like that all day. If you ever go to pull that down and that wants to spring back up, it doesn't want to stay down with you, just unscrew right here. Take this shroud off. That's where your battery is. Your battery, and there's a fuse boxes in there. You can see up underneath the back side of this has a lock nut. Tighten that lock nut down, you're back in business. So that's really the main things there that you want to look at. Besides your other things, keeping everything greased, keeping your loader valve, right there, keeping that loader valve clean, taking it off, getting the dirt, keeping it out of there, because that one piece of dirt in a loader valve can make it for a bad day because you can't figure out what's going on and it just keeps messing up. Things aren't working right. It can be dirt. So just kind of give you some ideas today, things to look at, things to do. Fuel wise, when you put fuel in these tractors, if you're keeping fuel for really long periods of time, always get additive to put in the fuel, like Startron, Diesel 911. You just don't want a fuel gelling up on you, causing havoc with what you have. Because if it gels up, it's going to make you go through fuel filters left and right. So if you put additives in your fuel, you're good. If you use off-road fuel, which is normally red, there's a lot of additives in it already, and you kind of stay away from that kind of thing. So it's just a couple of tips that I wanted you to know today, a little bit more about the BX tractors. And when you're greasing, one last thing that nobody ever shows anyone, underneath of this flap, this is your big secret for the day. Lift this flap and there is a grease fitting underneath there. If you do not grease that grease fitting, when you return this pedal to center, it will not go. Next time you get on the tractor, it won't start because this pedal is not in a neutral position. There is a safety switch there, so make sure you grease that grease fitting. And by the way, have a great day and thanks for watching.